mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, ewas ang sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ng bagaw, ay tinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang ay di magtitingin. Luman ang araw ng warhabit pagsinta, mo'y langit sa piling mo. Ang hinigaya na pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Prayer for our teachers during a pandemic. Let us pray. Dear Lord, the next weeks will begin a new way of teaching for public education. Teachers and administrators will be working to navigate through creating enrichment lessons as students will be learning how to do their work from home. Lord, we thank you for the blessing of technology, where teaching can still take place during this pandemic. Thank you for the blessing of health, that educators may be able to continue to connect with their students and ease their concerns while in isolation. May they feel your ever-loving presence during these times of uncertainty. We pray that you may calm their anxieties and shine the light of your love upon them. We ask all of these things through Christ our Lord. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
A pleasant day to everyone. Welcome to this 3-day activity on the online school-based training on learning management system. It is with great pride and honor to present to you the management committee for this training. First, we have Dr. Isidora C. Sarmino, Public Schools District Supervisor and Cluster 2 Head. Our energetic Principal 3, Dr. Lelo B. Estilo. The department heads as the training manager of their department. For English, Sir Joel E. Karatman, Head Teacher 1, also the overall chair for this training. For Mathematics, yours truly, Gina M. Miquiabas, Head Teacher 1. Focal person of the Senior High School, Sir J. M. Magno, Teacher 3. We also have Dr. Irene B. Gondaya, Head Teacher 3 for MAPE. For Filipino, we have Ma'am Gina S. Butin, Head Teacher 3. For Science, Ma'am Maria Luz Diazes, Head Teacher 1. For ESP, Sir Elenito R. Escalante, Head Teacher 3. For Aralin Panlipunan, Ma'am Marites M. Abelio, Head Teacher 1. And for TLE, we have Ma'am Rosalina S. Sondong, Head Teacher 3. Members of the Technical Working Group, from ICT team, Chairman, we have Sir Glenn Zabate, Co-Chair, Ma'am Adeline Quijano. Members, we have Sir Julius Robles, Sir Neil Edward Yee, and Sir Michael Luis Tubel. For certificates, we have the Chairman, Sir R. Damon Brano, together with Sir Elmer D. Costes as co-chair. For documentation, we have the Chairman, Sir Dan R. Ebrado. Co-chair, Sir Victor C. Asnao. Member, Ma'am Christine Puntilar. For training evaluation, Sir Christian Brian L. Prior, our Katami in charge. Our WATS Chairman, Ma'am Melanie G. Adorable, and the WATS Coordinator for every department. That's all. Thank you, and may God bless all our endeavors.
To the Department of Education Regional Director Evelyn Fetalvero, CESO 4, the Division Superintendent of Davao City, Dr. Rinaldo M. Giliena, CESO 5, the Public Schools District Supervisor of Cluster 2, Dr. Isidora C. Sermino, my dear teachers and staff of Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School, a pleasant day to all of you. In our pursuit to address the big challenge posed by COVID-19 in the education sector, we have initiated this 3-day online training on the learning management system to better equip our teaching force in navigating different learning platforms in response to the new normal in education. I would like to commend the people behind this endeavor by showing resourcefulness, undertaking initiatives, and fostering resilience and positivity amidst the pandemic to truly live up to our oath, beacons of knowledge, and power to continue. The youth to pursue their dream. On behalf of the DRANHS community, I welcome you all.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Rinaldo M. Giliena, to our Assistant Schools Division Superintendents, Dr. Basilio P. Manaay Jr. and Dr. Emma Camporidondo, to our CID Chief, Dr. Alma C. Cifra, to our SGOD Chief, Dr. Teresita F. Del Valle, to Dr. Leo B. Asilo, the Dynamic Principal of Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School, to all the teachers, head teachers, master teachers, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. To continue the delivery of basic quality education amidst the COVID-19 pandemic is a great challenge that we are facing right now. However, let us take courage and be brave enough to answer this call, simply because the Department of Education has been providing us with means and innovative strategies in making all these things happen for school year 2020-2021. The Department of Education has introduced major adjustments that are continuously implemented in order to address these challenges. First is the streamlining of the K-12 curriculum. As we all know that the Bureau of Curriculum Development has identified the most essential learning competencies in all learning areas from kindergarten to grade 12. A total of 60% of the MELCs have been reduced, and by doing this, there will be more focus on the learning activities and resources while having enough time for the coverage and mastery. The streamlining of the K-12 curriculum is not only to respond to the challenge of the delivery of learning in this COVID-19 pandemic, but it is actually the results of the Secretary's instruction to review the curriculum 2 years ago. Thus, we can say that with or without COVID-19, the K-12 curriculum has to be adjusted. Another adjustment made by the Department of Education is the implementation of the different learning modalities in terms of the COVID-19 restrictions, availability of resources, and other local restrictions, in which the following parameters are being looked into. First is the IATF policy, wherein we can say if are all the teachers allowed to be in school together with their students to conduct classes. So for the school context, we can ask some questions like, do we have available learning resources for both online and modular learning modalities, or even for TV and radio broadcast instructions? Are the teachers ready to facilitate multiple learning delivery modalities? And for the learners' context, we might be asking, do our learners have the capacity to complete the self-learning resources on their own? Do they have the access to technology, or do they have strong parental and community support? Are the parents able to assist their children in understanding their lessons? So these concerns may create anxiety and fear among us, but remember that the Department of Education is here to back us up always. The department has introduced learning modality. However, we cannot do this here in Davao City. You know very well the reasons why we cannot have this. However, this learning modality can be applied to learners with disabilities that may require face-to-face contact with the teacher. However, this will still be subject for further discussion of DepEd, parents, and other partners. And this face-to-face learning modality is also be feasible to an area which is considered very low-risk areas, such as those considered as geographically isolated, disadvantaged, and conflict-affected areas. But that is still be for further issuance of DepEd. But it is emphasized that in any face-to-face delivery of learning, there must be proper assessment and must adhere to health protocols in the place. The second modality is the distance learning, and this has 3 types. We have the MDL, or the modular distance learning. We also have the ODL, or the online distance learning. And we have the TV and radio-based instruction. So those are the 3 types under distance learning. Third modality is the blended learning. This is the combination of any of those modalities. The fourth one is the homeschooling. This modality requires an adult or a parent who is trained enough to conduct homeschooling. So this is still be subject for several discussions and further issuance of DepEd. Now, where does this LMS belong? So this LMS, or Learning Management System, belongs to the online learning, where it is best practiced with the use of LMS, so and other related technologies. Let me emphasize again that several advantages in using LMS. What are these? Why are we using this? Number one reason is that there is unlimited access to e-learning materials. Unlike modular modality that learners are only limited to the activities found in the printed materials. Another thing is that the performance of learners can easily be tracked and proper feedbacking will be done between the parents and the teachers. Third is that it reduces learning resources development cost. Why? Because there are no expenses incurred in the reproduction of materials. Another thing is that this reduces learning and development time because there is no time spent for the reproduction. E-copies can easily be sent to all the learners. And this will help you make your task easier. Why? Because you will have immediate interaction with your learners during synchronous mode. And absolutely, there is no physical contact between teachers and learners. While in modular, there are some issues on the distribution and retrieval of materials. So to all of you teachers, stay focused and commit yourselves to apply this LMS. We have, I believe and I am convinced that we have several experts here in Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School who can help those who are in need of technical assistance. Are you familiar with the saying, sakit ng kalingkingan, sakit ng buong katawan? Not all of you may have the same capacity to learn new things during this new normal. With this, let us all help one another in whatever difficulties that our co-teachers are experiencing right now. Remember that if one fails to deliver the competencies due to lack of skills and knowledge, this will affect the performance of the whole school community. On the other hand, if one succeeds in the pursuit of excellence, this will also be the success of all. So let me also express my sincere gratitude and congratulations, my sincere appreciation to Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School under the leadership of Dr. Leo B. Asilo. Together with all of you teachers, the technical working group, and for those all who labored so much for the preparation of this rollout on LMS, I appreciate you and thank you so much. This is a way to capacitate all teachers in the use of LMS. Remember, Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School is the biggest school in the cluster. Cluster 2. Other Cluster 2 schools are expecting you to be the best, to be the prime movers in the implementation of the learning management system in your classes. Let me also say thank you for welcoming me here. I am so blessed to be accommodated here together with Dr. Leo B. Asilo, knowing that teachers are humble, loving, committed, and dedicated to the job. I have learned a lot from you, and I want to learn more working with you. May the Lord bless our constant battle in delivering that basic quality education to our learners. Let us all imagine that in the near future, our learners will be successful even with this COVID-19 pandemic. To all of you, congratulations for your effort, and to God be the glory.
Good day, teachers. I'm Ma'am Jen from Daniel Aguinaldo National High School. My task is to walk you through the features of the DepEd LMS. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is how it looks like once you visit the site lms-test.deped.gov.ph. If ever you don't have an account here yet, and you can still access lms.deped.gov.ph, you can still use that. Okay lang naman po. Although we just received an information last week that this will be the site that we are going to use for the instruction. So once you have already accessed the site, you will be directed to this page. You will be asked to encode your username and your password. So once you have already created an account, that's what you're going to do, and then log in. For those who don't have an account yet, in lms-test.deped.gov.ph, this is not the same site as lms.deped.gov.ph. Or they may look the same, but the account that you made in lms.deped cannot be found here. So you really have to create an account. Also, ang purpose po ng training is that we will be familiar with how to put activities or to plot our lesson in preparation for online classes. It would be best that you already have your account as we go through the simulation or the session. And kung wala po dito, you can visit lms.deped. May slight na differences lang po sa ibang features. Kung ma-access nyo po yun, pwede po nyo dun kayo mag-practice. So let's start. I already have the account, so I'm just gonna log in. So sometimes lang, yun yung problema because naglo-loading. Once you have successfully signed in, you will be directed to your dashboard and you will see, and may nagawa na po akong course or subject in the LMS. The subject or the course name or the subject is for General Biology 1. For those who don't have yet a course here, blanco po ito, and then course overview, blanco rin po. So we will have the parang hands-on activity na rin. Not just a lecture type or a webinar type na you'll just be listening. But I really suggest na kung pwede, makasabay kayo, or kung hindi, write down the important terms or the steps, sulat nyo in a flowchart or whatever learning style that you have, for as long as you will remember what we have done today. Okay. So kung wala pa po kayong courses, I would like you to visit, if ever wala pa po, you visit site home. By the way po pala, you cannot create a course unless you're enrolled by your IT in charge or IT officer as a course creator or a teacher in the LMS site. Okay. So visit Granting. We're already enrolled as teachers because ginawa po nila ito last week or nag-start po sila 2 weeks ago. So Granting, may access na po tayo lahat for creating courses. Let's go to site home. And then look for Region 11. And click Region 11. Then let's look for Davao City. The first page is for elementary, where you will see the different districts, and the second page is for the secondary schools. And so let's go to cluster 2. Look for your school. So I'm from DRANHS. It's 30. You have your school ID. And click DRANHS. And you will see the different grade levels. Okay. So I'm teaching grade 11 and grade 12. I'll let you see samples po muna. If you click grade 11, you're teaching multi-grade pala, your IT officer has to enroll you as a teacher in those grade levels. So I'm enrolled as a teacher in grade 11 and grade 12. So you will see here that the teachers have already created their courses. Ayan, starting po sila with Ma'am Noemi, Ma'am Elfie, Sir Glenn, Ma'am Apple. And you will see here, and po, this is a subject that I have already made. Napapansin niyo po, we have here apat na. Tapos, yan pa po sa baba. If you're going to look at the formatting, the course name format follows school ID first, followed by the subject, then the grade level, and then the section. What you're seeing here, these are course summary or brief description. What I placed here is this course summary, which is found in the curriculum guide. Now, if you're going to observe, bakit parang may naka-bold dito? Bold format. May naka-underline. Because these are also some of the features which you can use in the LMS. Yan. Parang sa Word file. Let's try to create. If in your school or in your grade level, no one has created yet, this will be blank po. Then look for the button sa baba. Ayan, add a new course. Start. The course full name that you're going to use, again, you have the school, you have school ID 304359, that's for DRANHS. The subject, this is in grade 11. So my subject in grade 11 is Earth and Life Science. Section or the grade level, this is grade 11. And in the section, I've already created one for section, my section argon. Let's try putting one for hydrogen. Yeah. So again, the course full name, po, school ID, space, the subject, pwede rin po all caps if you want, Earth and Life Science, grade 11 hydrogen. The course short name, what you're going to use here is a shortened course name. Do not use spaces po. Example, this is ELS. I'm going to use ELS hydrogen. Okay. Why ELS? Kasi yun po yung ginagamit ng mga estudyante to shorten the subject, Earth and Life. Okay. I would suggest that you click this one, course end date, remove the check button for enable for us not to have a problem na mag-close siya and we still would like to get some data on this course. Course ID number, that's optional. Pero pwede rin po, if you want, you may put the course code or the subject code that's reflected in your SF10 for this particular subject. Okay. Then, this is where you're going to type, so under description, the course summary, this is where you're going to write the description of the subject, Earth and Life Science, or whatever subject you're handling or course you're creating. You can type in here. Parang Word file lang po talaga. Or, pwede rin po mag-copy-paste. Okay. So, this core subject, say, para ano po siya, makatotohanan. Let's use, if you're wondering po why I'm not copying and pasting from an existing curriculum guide. I just don't want to create buffer sa a screen share. So I'm going to have this código here with me for the subject description on Earth and Life Science. So this core subject is designed to provide a general background for the understanding of Earth science and biology. It presents the history of the Earth. So yun po, if naboboard po kayo while I'm typing the course description, you can actually also do your hands-on by going through the course full name. We just finish this po so you can actually see also the other features. So it's like you're just typing in a Word document. I'm not it will not be, for sure, it will not be exactly identical how it's going to look in your screen kasi may makikita po kayo dyan. This is a tone detector from Grammarly and automatic grammar checkers, spelling checker, since I allowed access to Grammarly on this site. So it presents the history of the Earth through geologic time. It discusses the Earth's structure, composition, and processes. Issues, concerns, and problems pertaining to natural hazards are also included. It also deals with the basic principles and processes in the study of biology. It covers life processes and interactions at the cellular, organism, population, and ecosystem levels. And what I've just encoded here is the course subject description, which is found in the curriculum guide. That's optional. You may just put in a brief course summary here. And if you look at the buttons here sa taas, so if you click this one, it will let you see other advanced buttons which you can use. And then put the underline if you want. So you can have this, you can highlight that one and use bold font. Let's say Earth, Science, and Biology subject or the main content. Let's underline that. And so then you will also see other buttons here. This is for italics. We have here an ordered list or for bullets for numbering. We have here linking, providing a link. It's for you to be familiar with this button, to unlink or to remove, of course, to remove the link. And then we have emoji picker. Just click, just like a keyboard or one, just like in Messenger, in sa cell phone. Then you have here, it allows you to insert or add an image. Then pwede rin po video, audio or video file or audio file. or kayo po ang magre-record. Ayan. So once done, ito pa pala sa baba, you have this feature which will let you put a strike through. Example, covers, click that, and can remove. Example. Then below, you'll be asked to put a course image. Yung pong pictures na nakita nyo kanina when we open the grade level. Have here files. You can actually drag and drop. So I'm going to upload a file. This is for parang siya yung banner for the course that I made. In your case, you can use your class picture if it's available, or anything that would be associated to the subject. Example. This is Earth and Life Science for hydrogen. Let me use this file. Okay. For the course format, you will see here that it actually allows you to select whether it's in a weekly format, single activity format, social format, or topics. Naka-default setting niya, topics. Please remember po sa course format, I will not change this yet. Ito yung naka-default niya. Let's use topics muna and let's see how it's going to affect if we change the format later. So naka-topics format siya. If you want to add sections, just click the drop-down arrow and then look for the number of sections that you wish to have in this course. But can actually skip this one kasi you can go back to editing. You can go back to editing this course. For the appearance, I have here options. Force language, huwag lang pong pilitin. Do not force. And number of announcements, you can increase or decrease the number of announcements. Show the gradebook to students and their activity reports. No lang po. Files and uploads. Ito po yung isa na difference which I have seen as we moved into lms-test.deped.gov.ph. The site upload limit is now 200 MB for its ceiling. In the lms.deped.gov.ph, nakaset po siya into 1 gig. So yun po, isa sa difference nila. Completion tracking, and enable completion tracking for the course. Groups and role renaming, we can skip that. And then click, save, and display. So pag ganito po na naglo-loading, refresh lang po natin sa listahan kung ano po nangyari kanina. Review, not refresh. Kasi baka i-refresh nyo dyan. Let's wait for it to complete. Again po, for the course name format, school ID, space, subject, space, grade level, space, section. Now, this format is as shared by Mr. Mark C. during the webinar last July 16. So again po, balik po tayo while waiting. You have the course full name. Ang course short name po, wala pong space. Course start date, pwede ngayon na. Anyway, you can always customize the other activities, inside the LMS. Course and date, i-uncheck po si enable para hindi lang po siya mag-close. We have the course summary pwede nyo po i-copy-paste from the curriculum guide. Or you can provide your own if you want to make it personalized. If you want, you can actually insert your video or audio. So, ayan na po. You have here, this is already the course it's created. And I told you kanina that we will not change the course format na nakatopic siya. Okay. Let's try to familiarize with the other buttons here. Kalinya po ni course name, you will see this gear button. If you want to click that, you will have the options edit settings. It refers to editing the setting in the course. Okay. Tapos all these other options. Click, ayan. You'll have this. And then users, dyan po kayo mag-enroll. Then po tayo mag-enroll ng ating users who opted to have the online modality. So going back, CLS hydrogen. Let's click turn editing on. Ayan. Once you click that on, yan po lalabas po si lapis-lapis where you can edit. So, ang suggested po na format ni Sir Mark C is week. That is that we have week and then the date for that particular week. Okay. So, para di na po tayo mag-change, let's go back. Sabi niya may week. Let's go back to editing the course. And let's see course format. And let's use weekly format. Save and display. Yan po. So, ganyan siya. So, kung naka-weekly format, ang disadvantage lang, pag i-click mo siya is naka-indent siya sa left. Although, you can actually click that and edit, hide, or delete the week. May mga buttons dyan. So, balik po tayo. Why I would like to have, why we prefer to have the topic format. Settings. Course format. Balik ko po sa topic. Save and display. Yan. So, napansin niyo po, if we use the weekly format, and dito po siya naka-indent sa left ang label niya. But if you use the topic format, nasa gitna, which is actually better for organizing the lessons as we have the weekly session. So, ganito po siya. We're going to do, we have two options for editing the topic name. And we click the pencil to edit the topic name, or we click the edit here and then click edit topic. Yan. And we click click that one, customize, and then let's use week 1. That's August, let me see, August 24 to 28, 2020. For the summary, optional, whatever you want to put there to provide a background or brief description or of what the summary is, or what the week is all about. Reason lang po why I did not put any of those descriptions is that I am putting myself into most of learners na I don't want to see so many text or words on the platform or whatever medium they're using. Then change the rest, click pencil, and it says click escape to cancel, and click enter when finished. So again, week 2. Week 2 is August 31 to September 4, 2020. Then it says click enter when finished. And then we do the rest for the other topic headers. Yeah. Now, if you ask, in 1 quarter, we have about 8 weeks of MELCs, or the most essential learning competencies, distributed in 8 weeks. Let's ask, there are only 4 topics here. So, look for this button sa baba, add topics. So let's add how many? 4 more. Add topics. And there you have the additional topic link. And for additional topics, click pencil. And para mas madali po, 11/20/20. Yan. And do the rest for the other topics here. On the right, let's check. Okay. Ano itong announcements? Announcements, ganun. And you have options to put here Google Meet link for virtual classes, and or an announcement that you have for the class. If you're going to go back on the edit settings, click po tayo. We have here course format, nakatopic na siya, appearance, number of announcement. You can select how many announcements you wish to have there. Max niya, number of announcements. Okay. Click save and display. Yan po. We're still on the course format. So we change now just to organize our content in the LMS. Palitan lang po natin si topics into weeks. And I hope nakakasabay po kayo. Suggestion lang po ito na format ni Sir Mark C, which I also find actually more convenient in organizing the lesson. Kasi po, for example, sa DRANHS, our class program is designed na 2 hours per subject. May iba, 1 hour, 1 hour, and then on the third meeting, 2 hours, just to complete the number of hours required in a week. So take for example, in my class, this is hydrogen. For hydrogen, ang klase ko po sa kanila is Monday and Tuesday, 3 to 4 p.m. and Friday, 7:30 to 9:30. So, what's the next thing that we're going to do? Kasi nakasegregate siya by week. Instead of putting now, if they will put below or below the week, is to actually add now or to organize your lessons into pwede by meetings. So again po, ang klase namin, if you're going to click, balikan po. If you're going to click here, add an activity or resource, you will be seeing this many options. Ito po yung kagandahan ni LMS. You can customize your lesson in many different ways. So, and for activities, we have these options: assignment, chat, choice, custom certificate, database, external tool, feedback, forum, glossary, H5P. This is for mga interactives, and susubukan natin po yung H5P later. Adding a lesson, quiz, scoring package, survey, a wiki, a workshop. For resources, we have a book, file, folder, an IMS content package, label, page, and a URL. So if you say, kung naman the option there for a book, Does it mean we can just upload a copy of the book? Pwede, but let's think of it now. The student used the internet connection only for him or her to find a book there, tapos i-download niya, tapos babasahin niya. Medyo hago, no? If ikaw ang estudyante. The thing with LMS is that it allows you to customize your lesson flow or the how it's going to be used by the students. If you're familiar with Khan Academy, diba, may mga interactive quizzes siya dun where you will receive feedback right after taking the test. Ganyan. So, the LMS allows us to do that. Balikan ko lang po. Again, you have to click add an activity or resource. Ngayon, what we're going to have is to add label. Adding label. Okay, label. What's the purpose? And to help organize, to give label, to identify. So, suggestion po ni Sir Marksy is that we put labels as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, ganyan. Since I'm in a SCED, this is for section hydrogen, my class schedule is Monday, 3 to 4 p.m. Now, why did I include the time? That is to facilitate, recall, or to guide me also na pang 1 hour lang dapat na session will be put under this label or will be created in this portion, the LMS. Now, this is a label, but again po, you can play around with it, can have it in bold format or italics. So, naka-label ito. I wish let's use a bold format. Bold format and not in italics. It's up to you. Kayo po bahala for the format niyo. And save and turn to course. Label lang po yan. So you will see there, ayan, Monday, 3 to 4 p.m. Isa ko pang schedule. So again, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. I'm going to add here, Tuesday. The same time, 3 to 4 p.m. And format, for consistency po, whatever format you used in your first label, ganyan po rin ang format that you will use for consistency, and especially if they are the same level of hierarchy kung nag-outline. Yan. So, you have Monday, Tuesday. So, last, let's add again, for practice purposes, balik-balik, label. Click label. Now, I'm going to add Friday. Friday, ang klase ko sa kanila is 7. So, this will be save. Click save and return to course. Yan. So, you will now see Monday, Tuesday, and Friday labels. Let's try to see what other things we can do. Click edit. You have here move to the right, meaning indent po natin si Monday a little to the right. Pwede natin siya i-hide. Pwede natin i-duplicate and assign rows or delete that label. So, ganyan po siya. Let's try duplicate. Ayan. So, may dalawang Monday na. What am I gonna do with it? Duplicated na siya. Can actually move that down. Ayan. So, you already have your label for the second week. Let's try Tuesday. Click duplicate. Or clicking duplicate and drag it again. Ayan. So, may kanang label for second week. Then, duplicate. And move down. Sorry. Ayan. So your weeks now, weeks 1 and 2 have labels Monday, Tuesday, Friday. Ayan. So that's sample of putting label. Mahirap po yung walang label. So Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Sample po yan. So you can try your own. So for example, yung klase ninyo is Monday to Friday. So you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to Friday here. 1 hour, 1 hour. So, or Monday to Thursday, bahala. For practice purposes, you can try. Okay. So, na, you've already started organizing your course content. Let's now move on to putting the lesson in. There's a message. There's a message that's forwarded saying that the content that must be placed in the LMS should have gone through quality assurance daw. Yan. And then somehow it caused confusion, especially for those who will be simulating. It caused confusion kasi the quality assurance of the LRMS is still ongoing. And hindi siya kaya na pag isipin mo na you're going to wait until when it's available before you start putting here. Well, actually, it's an option na once we have a copy of the e-copy of the quality, we have a soft copy of the modules that have gone through quality assurance. Yung pumasa na po sa quality assurance, okay na for mass distribution. Once we have that e-copy, pwede po natin siya i-upload dito. Or let's say, ilagay dito. But again, hindi po siya, paglagay mo dyan ng module copy, yun na. Ang feature ng LMS or features ng LMS will not be maximized and you will still have the burden of checking the hard copy of the modules. Clarification na din po, we recall in the regional training of trainers, Dr. Janet Veloso shared that the different modalities or the different options that we have for the teaching modalities because of what we're experiencing the present. We have modular and then the blended learning, or a mix of those. And then hopefully by January, initial or until things will be okay, we'll have hinay-hinay po with the face-to-face. So si LMS, features, si LMS niya, again, as I said, pwede ka mag-upload dito ng module, copy ng module. But the student will have the burden of, sige, nag-visit siya dito, and you have the copy of the module, tapos i-open niya or i-save niya sa phone, and then, sulat na naman siya sa papel. Ayan. So, the LMS actually allows us to have paperless checking, mga paperless transactions. So, iwas din with the handing of documents. Okay. Or just imagine if you have the module and one student, one lesson now, or one module has a maximum pages of, let's say maximum. How many modules will a student finish in a day? Or let's say kung ikaw, how many students? Let's say 50. And then for one lesson or for one module, one module times 50 students, that's the bulk of paper that you're going to check. So the LMS is an option for us to get away from that load of paperwork. Also, you might say na may sa imuha ma'am kay dugay-dugay na ka nag-practice. Clarification po, we started using the LMS site like just 2 weeks ago, when we had the training, the regional training of trainers last July 6 to 10, or even nung nag-webinar si Sir Maxi sa region natin June 17 to 19, we were taught to use downloaded Moodle, and then last our taught in-explain yung pwedeng paggamit ng downloaded Moodle. To tell you, I had the difficulty na makasabay kasi I'm using Mac and the speaker's using Windows. So I have to find tutorial na will be suitable for the unit that I'm using. So downloaded Moodle yan. Now, for us to see how it looks like. Ayan. So I was able to go through this. I've customized it by putting the DRANHS logo, and here you have the courses that I made. But if we're going to click on it, it's actually bare as compared to this one. There were also teachers who were able to come up with a better look of their downloaded Moodle. Kasi mas madali for Windows. So yeah, I think I did so much talking. So let's go back. I hope while I was talking, you were able to practice the labeling. Yeah. So we have now, sample, add an activity or resource. Or sorry, let's try to add announcement. Kasi week 1, start ng klase, announcement. Now, what would you like to add? Add a new topic, subject, say first virtual meeting or online meeting, and subject orientation. And message, let's click post to forum. I'm sorry, I missed. Message. For our first virtual meeting, please click on the link for save po para hindi redundant si meeting. For first virtual session, please click on the link for the Google Meet. Yan. Then send, there you have here link, or you go to set a new meeting, schedule in Google Calendar. First virtual session, and subject orientation. Let's schedule this on, and my class with them is on Monday. So first meeting, August 24th, and that's 3 p.m. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. because my class schedule for them on a Monday is just 1 hour in August 24. Copy this one, copy the link, save na siya. Let's go back to and post the Google Meet link here. Okay. Post to forum. And so I have here the first announcement. First, virtual meeting subject orientation. Let's click that. And you will see the content. Hello everyone. For first virtual session, please click on the link for the Google Meet. This line, and na tinype ko, if you have the option, you can put a recording, audio recording or a video. Yan. And let's go back to... So if you notice, ayan po yung course short name na nagagamit. ELS Hydrogen. Okay. So let's see how it looks like. Let's see how it looks like if we are to browse as a student. Switch role. Again, click lang po. Sorry ha. Ito po nasa side. Then drop down arrow. We have here option na switch to particular role. So my announcement. Wanna see? Click the announcement. And if you don't like na ganyan yung dating, kasi, ay, mag-click pa si student sa announcement bago pa niya makita. What if tanga-tanga si student, no? O hindi niya nakalimot siya. Wala siya nag-click dito. So, one option. Let's go back. I'll switch to normal role. Oh, makalimot usahay ba? Di tayo makakita. Yan. So, naka-embed siya dito. Now, the students, kaning announcements, no? Then, but what if they don't even click? Now, if you want, turn editing on. You have here an option, add an activity or resource. Okay. Again, label. Yan. Pwede po label, tapos diretso na po ganito. First virtual session and subject orientation link. And then you can have this in bold format. Tapos italic. These are your options. And save and return to course. So there you have the label that you just added. We're gonna do, just to organize it, let's click move right. Still move right. So that it would look like it's really under announcements. Move right. And then, para mas makita ninyo, no, na that's how it's gonna look. Topics. Turn editing off. See? Yan po siya. Naka-indent kasi we click move to the right. So you have first virtual session, link. So, pwede ganyan. You click announcement. However, if it's say, let's check how the students are going to at that student. Okay. So if you look at it, dili siya makaklik, no? Kailangan pa niya mag-copy like that. So, to click. Let's have another option. Turn editing on. Let's explore the features of the LMS. Wala pa ni sa lesson, ha? Okay. Yung may task kadugay mandaanan, ma'am. Uy, yes, it requires effort, but the advantage is that once you have it there, mag-answer sila students, after a particular time, you already have the scores here. Wala na kayo i-check. Okay. So click add an activity or resource, and you have all the other options here. Say it's a URL, and again, other activities. We have this, resources, we have this many options. Tapos, isa-isahon na to na siya. No? And URL, let's try URL. How does it look if you want to add a URL? Copy-paste lang nila. So, natin na. Okay. So, let's now, I hope you have organized your course format now. Let's have the content. Mag-add na ako ng lesson. For that, I'll like to use a reviewed lesson exemplar. I would like to use the lesson exemplar that's already reviewed for the division training of trainers. I'm going to shift into biology. I'm going to look at the left side here, and dyan see my courses. So, nalaghan na because for my courses, we have here the courses that I've already made. Let's click on grade 12, Gen Bio. And so, if you look at it, nganong lahi siya now? Nganong naka-hyperlink? Sorry ha. Or naka-link tira. And student can easily click. Now, let's see, what did I use? Okay, we explore na to kaganihan. So, unsa to itong pindot. The click edit setting. So, what I put is actually a label. What I used is a label. Sana lang. So, you have the virtual meeting via Google Meet. Tapos, link for that virtual meeting which I have set. So, turn to course. Turn editing off. So, ayan. I set the turn editing off para makita niyo po muna how it looks. So, I have the announcement. Pwede po natin again, i-indent ito siya by clicking move to the right. Ayan. In a week, hindi ko pa rin tinapos. Sorry. Then week 7, nilagay ko lang po for demo purposes only. So I have already created here some items, picture analysis for content. My class schedule with grade 12 Andromeda for General Biology 1 is every Mondays and Tuesdays, 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. So what I've placed here, again, ang tawag po natin dito, these are labels, Monday, Tuesday, hindi ko po nalagyan ng time. So for demo purposes, ito po, we have Monday, 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. Pansinin niyo po, we have your logo or a symbol or an icon which will let us know what type of activity or resource I used for that activity. You have your transport trivia, endocytosis and exocytosis animation. This is a file. We have here an H5P. So, what are these? Ma'am kahago man di ana, ma'am. How long will it take you to put these lessons in the LMS? As I started, it took me 1 day to put one lesson in the LMS. That was in the LMS, lms.deped.gov.ph. Then, Just few days ago, we were told to use LMS-test. So I have to put this again here. Then there are also slight differences sa kanilang setup or sa pag-layout and other features as well. So, let's click. I'd like to walk you through muna the activities that I made, and then we will do it. Okay? Picture analysis. Yan. So, I switch role. When I made this one, I switch role to student for a sample. Ayan, my previous attempt, 2/5. This is the picture analysis activity. So on the right, you will see the picture. The picture that will appear here is not the picture of the teacher, but the picture of the student taking the test. Ayan. So nga na siya, kay para mura daw pinapisa format. So you have here the question, and this one, you notice, please observe the various formats that I'm going to use. Does this activity, looking at the picture, does this activity require energy? And there's a drop-down arrow, which ay makita na options dira. Arrow, yes or no? Does this require energy? Looking at the picture, let's try and click yes. Next page. Kung ikaw po ang estudyante. And so, if you notice dito sa baba, si item number 1 na half fill na po yung box kasi I've already answered item number 1. Next question. This activity shows active transport mechanism. This is a true or false type. Notice, 2 options. Ibang format siya compare kanina. So, active transport. Answer, true. Next page. So, yan, update na siya. Si item number 2, tapos na. Number 3, what form of transport is this? Option, is it exocytosis or endocytosis? Next page. And now on item number 4, the image shows pinocytosis. False. Yan. Next page. What type of activity is this? Now, if you look at the question, we have a picture and then there are items here. The instruction is to drag the correct answer on top of the picture. So this is a drag and drop activity. Picture, this is exocytosis. Yan. The instruction is to drag the correct answer on top of the picture. Now let's see, what if the student dito niya i-drag? No. If dili niya i-drag, tapod. Di sa left, samot. Wala. Okay? So, says up. Yan. Nandoble na noon. Finish attempt. And so it says answer save. If you took a post-test dun sa isang webinar with Sir Maxi, ganitong features ang na-try natin with the LMS. Submit all and finish. Ayan. Once you submit, you will no longer be able to change your answers for this attempt. Okay, submit all and finish. Answer. Or the score of the student is 4/5. Now, you might say, ay, kung ingon ana, makita din sa estudyante ang answer. Yeah, pwede sila magpinupihanay. Well, you can actually set this, no, pag makita, maghimo taon niya, na dili mo gawas ang answer, unless i-close na to, kana siya na activity. No? But since I designed this picture analysis activity as a pretest, it would be best that the students know kung asa sila tama or mali. Okay. So let me go back to week 7. That's picture analysis. Then you have here another one that I made. This is transport trivia. Let's click on it. So, kung kaya, yeah, maybe this afternoon, kaya, muna to, no? Paningkamutan na to na mahimo to silag balik. Yan. Transport trivia. Simple lang, nakabullet lang ni siya. Next. Then, please familiarize the features of what I did here. Ako po naglagay nito. Then you have here, may part na naka-underline or yan. If I'm going to click on it, the student, ako, in this case, will be directed to a different site, yan, explaining what are neutrophils. That could actually help for review purposes. Magbasa ang estudyante, sa galing ni neutrophil. Okay. Tapos may naka-bold na font there for phagocytosis, is to emphasize these concepts. Then there's another word, microvilli. Let's click. Yan. It's the definition. And then pwede na po yung option si bata na i-play ng video diri. Okay. Let's go back. Then, yan lang. It's a presentation. Parang trivia lang, which the student will read. Next activity. You'll also see sa baba, okay, the student has the option to go back to the previous activity, which is picture analysis, or proceed to the next activity. So, in this case, let's proceed to the next activity. So, I have embedded here a video. Yeah. So, if the student is using any device, that's a good thing also with LMS. Pwede siya, friendly siya for student na gamit sa laptop, sa tablet, or sa cellphone. So I've set up a new video. Does it have any copyright na issues? Wala po, because we are only linking this to another site. We're using this material, linking it into our LMS. That's the good thing with LMS. It allows us to link. For teachers like me also, who are not actually confident in making videos and then showing that to my students for online classes, the use of this type is very helpful. And for classes also, like for example, science, where of course there are lessons which are concepts which cannot be seen or which needs animation to really visualize at the cellular level. Dako kay tabang ang mga video. For example, MAPE teacher, if you want to demonstrate steps, mag-video ka, natin mong ibutang, pwede kayo. Okay. And then you can also ask the students to do written demonstration. Mag-video sila, videohan nila, tapos i-upload sa LMS. Okay, let's proceed. So, na yung options tayo sa baba, click previous or proceed to next activity, or pwede po mo, if you wanna go back, yan, for week 7. Click dito sa taas. Now, the module which I placed here, sample lang po yan, hindi po yan module ni endo and exocytosis. So, here, you have module, click that, see. And the student is actually directed to click siya into downloading kasi what I added here is a file. So it's now downloaded here. Nabasa ko ni student. Then you have also an H5P, an interactive activity. Sa H5P, sige, another observation that I made, I've seen ng LMS-test versus LMS.deped is that mas dali mag-add mga interactives in the LMS.deped as compared to adding interactives here pero the output is still the same. Okay. So let's try. This is an interactive video. As I said, dili po ko hawad maghimo-himog video. I used a YouTube video and then made interactive questions. So let's try. Let's see. Let's click play.
The substances taken in by single-celled organisms are often particles or large polar molecules that cannot cross the hydrophobic plasma membrane. Many single-celled eukaryotes employ endocytosis to ingest such food particles.
Yan. So, if you observe, nag-stop siya, then the question popped up or popped out on screen, and nag-pop up siya, and then the student will have the option to answer. So, what do we call the ingestion process used by the cell? Ingestion, endocytosis, check, nag-isip, sorry. Then it will give the automatic feedback. You can also set na, you can also edit this. Now, dili siya mo automatic check if you want. And click continue.
In this process, the plasma membrane extends outward and surrounds the food particle. Cells use three major types of endocytosis: phagocytosis, pinocytosis, and receptor-mediated endocytosis. If the material the cell takes in is particulate, such as a bacterium or a fragment of organic matter, the process is called phagocytosis.
Yeah. So if you observe, there are, it's here, there's a true or false question next. Tapos na ay single choice set next. And then we have single choice set also sa last. So the student, nasiguro something diri. Mo ni siya, manggawas ni sila, which you added, no? This is, mo ni nakagwapo ng H5P na makahimo ka interactive. Can use an existing video, edit it, just to make sure na naminaw ba ka ni si estudyante or basig play lang niyang video tapos nagla lang. Okay? So, can add questions like this. Ayaw po ng every second na lang, no? So, concept-wise, can add kung asa dira. So, question, phagocytosis is like a self-eating process. Okay, true. And check. Yan. So, students know where, okay. Click continue.
If the material the cell takes in is liquid, it is called pinocytosis.
Yan. So next question, pinocytosis is like a cell drinking process. Pili si student na answer. Isa po nabantayan po nato karon di ay is how long kani siya magstay on the screen. No, that's display time niya. Yes, that's also one thing that we can set. Kay pangit po kayo nga kung dili na to siya ma-set ang display time. Kasi nahuman ang video na but diri and the question is still there. Mawala ang nasa video na images. Answer. Cell drinking process. Okay.
Specific molecules, such as low-density lipoproteins, LDL, are often transported into eukaryotic cells through receptor-mediated endocytosis. Molecules to be transported first bind to specific receptors on the plasma membrane. The interior portion of the receptor protein is embedded in the membrane. The protein clathrin coats the inside of the membrane in the area of the pit.
Yan. So, nanapuylahin ang question. So, napansin po ninyo, the questions that are added here in the video are actually per per topic or per concept nga gina-explain deraan na part or up to deraan na part. Okay. So, it looked different from kanina kasi katong gigamit na ko kaganiha, katong gihimo na to kaganiha is katong na ay options. This one is a single choice type na add-on. Click continue.
when an appropriate
Okay,
collection of
bawal na to,
from
ha?
vesicles at the cell surface to the out.
Yan. So this is also please note, pwede nyo hinumduman, this is, kung ganahan mo yung ani, this is a single choice format. So what is exocytosis and discharge of materials? Mo-check na siya. Wala, dili tong, parang ani diri ka ganyan. Ay, sorry. Yan, dili pareho atong sa previous part sa video. Halit na ta. And this is a true or false type. Kani diri, katong dalawa, last na dalawa, they are single choice type. And single choice set. You have a true or false. You have true or false. Tapos may kaganiha. Itong pinakauna.
Particles. To ingest such food particles. In this process, the plasma membrane extends outward and surrounds the food particle.
Sorry.
Cells ingest such food particles.
Yan. That is a multiple choice type na addition. Okay. Let's see.
In this process, the plasma membrane.
Click. Then the student now may continue with the next activity. So, kung na pong gihimo diri is tayo ginatawag na memory game. Nauso yata ni sa una sa cellphone. Tama ba ko? Sige. So, sa memory game, ang imo lang iset is imong cards. May mga cards diri. Sa memory game sa una, the student will answer the time spent, card turns. The student will be aware sa time spent niya for this activity and how many turns he or she made for the activity. Kaya kung pangitaon niya, sample lang po ito na picture ha. Yan, tama. Ay, mali. Wrong. Yun. Correct. Okay. So, let's say, basig maingon mo ba, naman niya siya reaction nga mura, pag kunuha siya nag-answer with, nga siya may naghimo. I made this, yan, so click na kong reset, but pag memory game, I don't know kung sa arrangement niya dito. I just added pictures, and then, siya na ang mag-arrange na. So, wala pag ko kabalo. Okay, so balik ta. Nag-click ko reset. So, how will it look like? Diri man to ganihan, no? Naidili na di siya mo. So, you see, gina-reset ko na niya. Asa man to eh. Ito diri. Wrong. Yun. Yun. Ito to. Mali. Ito na. Okay. And last. Good work. Kung unsa pa naisulti niya dira, can also edit that one. Okay? So, pansin na sa baba, wala na ilang option, kaya mo pa lang to ako nabutang. Okay. Let's go back to, I can also view all attempts. 0 submitted, kaya for in this case, wala pa na ako siya giset. No? So, these are the activities I've set here. Makaguha man lakadaghan or lingaw. You might have those impressions now. Sige, let's give this a try. Kasi maski ako nalingaw ko sa akong gihimo, no? Kung I put myself na kung ako ang estudyante, ganahan ko kung kaysa magsige ko basa, no? Or magsige paminaw og kanang lecture. Kaya sa'yo na bito'y pagka-special, ganahan ka ng monotonous type. So, mga lahi-lahi na options. So, I hope na nakita niyo yung features karon this afternoon. Kaning kamutan na to na makaya og redo ni sila. no, kaya para mas makita niyo giunsa to siya paghimo. In the simulations also, next Wednesday, next day, tama. Simulations on Wednesday, you will also see how the creativity of the different teachers in across subject areas, ilahang creativity in coming up with activities in the LMS. So, basig lahi po lang gihimo o nami kapareho. So, little recap lang of what we had for the first half of the session.